Wiki number 8, we learned a lot about motivation in chapter 9 and 10. So this motivation is described as an internal state that arouses, directs, and maintains behavior. So motivation is something that can motivate kids basically to get to their goals, to reach their goals. So there are two types, which is intrinsic and extrinsic. So depending on what motivates the kids, these are different kinds. So if it's external, then it's going to be extrinsic, and if it's something inside them, internal, it's intrinsic. We learned about a lot of different things, like Mayer's personal investment theory, and kind of needs, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And we learned about the self-determination theory, which is basically a theory saying that behavior is engaged with complete volition. We learned about interest, so this is like a child's interest and how this can affect their motivation. And we also learned about affect, so like mental state that is a result of our mood or feelings, how this affects things and things like that. This could be a candidate for my CPC problem, but I'm going to go about it as if it weren't, simply because I have enough things that are, so I'm going to go about it like that. So I'm going to talk about extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. So extrinsic is from an external sources or for external reasons. For example, if parents want kids to do well in school, and the child does want to do well in school because of this, this would be an extrinsic factor that motivates them. And intrinsic is for the sake of doing it, or also what we talked about was flow. So this is a child will get into a certain flow of doing things, and this kind of intrinsically motivates them. So that's internal, and it comes from them. So one of these ways this could be applied to the classroom is if children are having trouble doing their homework. You could meet with each child one-on-one and see if they're extrinsically or intrinsically motivated, and find different ways to motivate each child based on the way they're motivated. For example, if you have two different children, and one of the children wants to do really well in the homework for their own sake of learning, then they would be intrinsically motivated. And what you could do to them is to tell them what they're going to be learning and how this could affect their life. Whereas a child that's extrinsically motivated, you could tell them that they need a good grade to pass the class, or to do well, or to make sure that their future is kind of doing okay and that they're going to do well in the future. So this could be extrinsically because you would tell them that other people would expect them to do well, or maybe you give them a piece of candy if they are doing well. So these are just a few of the ways that extrinsic and intrinsic motivation helps students and can be applied in the classroom.